All right. All right, guys. First of all, thank you for attending today. I know you have busy days. We appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more about our Elite Cities Network. We have an aggressive challenge this year to hit our 100th community in our GSLI cities. And you'll see how that's important to our overall growth. Um, the agenda today, and I want to start with a poll just to kind of get a feel. I see you guys from all over the nation, which is great. But I want to understand how much you know about us. If you've worked with one of our coaches, if you talked with one. But today we're going to talk about GSLI. We're going to talk about what is our elite cities. We're going to talk a little bit about how we generate projects so you understand where the projects come from. Then Chris is going to be the star of the show. She'll do a quick demonstration. I put a bigger challenge on her to keep it to 3 minutes in her presentation, which is going to be impossible. Her onboardings usually take 45 minutes to an hour, and they're amazing with our clients. And then we will have a special offer for you guys taking your time. You have to be there to take advantage of the offer and there's no obligation on it, but if you choose to move forward, it's a way to save you some money and make your boards really, really happy from day one. So here is a little bit of an example of some of our wonderful communities that we've worked with and participated with. They give us great feedback. They're very instrumental in what we do. And over 30 years, you can imagine, we've worked with probably around 200 different communities on and off, depending on their situations and what they're doing. But they are our offices. They're our backbone. They're who we count on representing their cities to the projects that we identify. Marketing guru is a little bit strong. Thanks for whoever created this slide. I appreciate that, but I do feel that is my strength of identifying, putting together programs, of identifying projects. But here's some stats that we have come up with or that have generated over the years. 2,125 number. That's a number of projects that we've identified that continues to grow. 53,000 jobs were created or are going to be created through the projects that we've identified. 6.3 billion in capital investment and 31.8 million square feet of space that these projects have created and taken up for the communities. You might be asking, should you be here? This is an exercise that we take our communities through to see if they're a good fit. And what I've done here is I've represented over all of the responses that we've gotten from communities. This is the average of what responses and which people that have these responses are probably our most successful clients. So in terms of limited time and budget, the higher or the more challenge, the better. Because we are a massive way to save your community dollars and get more results for your board. And they're always asking, here's less money, go get more results. So we look for people that are majorly challenged in their time and budget. Usually they're economic development professionals. They're not marketing professionals. So putting together a strategic and consistent follow-up is a major challenge, even though they're tasked of doing that sometimes, unless they have a marketing director on staff. Over the past couple of years, some people have said, man, we are so overflowing with leads, but they're not converting. And we want to always add to our pipeline of projects. So somewhere in between a 3 and a 5 on challenge is a good match for us. Knowing the best way to find leads, that goes back to being an economic development expert, not a marketing expert. So what are the ways that we're going to go invest our community's dollars to get leads? It's a big challenge. And more importantly, once you do go invest that, the ability to prove the ROI on what you went out and spent. The board's going to say, what'd you spend and what'd you get? And sometimes we always laugh about that and say, we're going to send sweatbands out for them to get those answers, because that's a tough thing to identify. And ability to get approval. This is one area that our clients do not have challenges sometimes. As long as it's something they believe in, their boards give them authority. Boards only drag down the process because it takes maybe official vote ins on a line item or something like that. If I could, in the chat box, just type in there, does this sound like you? Are you faced with some of these challenges? Just put a yes or a Y in the chat box if you could.
I think you might have spent like 3 minutes on this slide, Eric.
Okay, I
It's
gotta
not
go.
looking good for you.
I gotta hurry. Okay, Christina. Yeah, thank you so much. That's really that's good to hear, and I'm glad
Well,
that
good to
we've
hear
got
and not
there.
good to hear.
Right, not good to hear. We're trying to fix it. So a lot of people ask me, and although I'd like to take the credit, the reality is we were created by economic development professionals for economic development professionals. And the best way I can describe that is to really tell you the story of how we were formed. And when I tell this story, people really kind of put a grasp on who and what we are. A lot of times we get a feedback of, are you really, you guys are paid to play? And I've always tried to understand that paid to play. And I always kind of fire back at them, no, it's you are paying to pray for good quality projects. What we're doing is positioning you with as many opportunities to get in front of projects. And this is how we were formed. I started in a uh, called a meeting at one of our trade shows. We rented a hotel room. We brought 25 economic development professionals into the room. I said, there's one requirement. I need you to bring a project lead with you. Make sure the only thing I care about is I don't care if it's one that you're working, one that's not qualified for you, but qualified. I just need to know that it's quality and it's been verified. So I put them all in a fishbowl. And I went in and I pulled the first lead out, and I want you guys as an audience to participate like they did. I read the lead. I said, hey, here's the first project lead. It's a manufacturing company. It wants to create 50 high paying jobs, wants to build a 50,000 square foot facility. And I asked them to raise their hand. So a Y in the chat box is raising your hand. Who would want to say, give me that project? I'd like to work it. Kevin, you get it. Christina, you get it.
Don't forget Mark. He was
Oh, did
first.
Mark? Okay, I was getting some of the Y's confused from the previous Y's. But so I said, oh, that's awesome. And then I go, hey, wait a minute. Before you want to work this lead, this lead came from a trade show. Are you still interested? Throw a Y in there. Are you still interested? Okay. That's the exact same responses I got. Mark, that's a good thing because you go, is it qualified? But the leads have been qualified, so maybe. Um, good response. No bad responses here. So I pulled out a second project lead and I said, hey, it's a logistics company. They want to create 25 jobs. They need 25,000 square foot facility. Type Y. Oh, there we go. Mark definitely wants that one. Anybody else want to work this lead? All right, Laura.
I see a little bit of variety there.
Christina, Brad. Okay, but wait a minute. This lead came from an email info request. Do you still want to work it? All
Still,
right.
yes.
All right. So I pulled out a third one. Aerospace company wants to create a 75 high paying jobs, wants 65,000 square foot of space. Do you want this one? And you can see I kind of went through this and I did about 10 different leads. And every one of the participants were starting to get frustrated. They say, quit telling us where that project lead came from. We don't care. And what we quickly identified was the project lead and the quality was what was most important, not where it came from. And so I kind of continued. I said, man, you're putting so much effort, so many resources, so much money on the wrong part. You're trying to find leads, chase leads, not work leads. So what are you guys tired of? And then, they came back and they said, we're tired of the wasted time of research, the expense of advertising, not much less not knowing where to advertise. And the biggest thing is the headaches of qualification, the amount of phone calls, time, energy it takes just to find out if what I have in my hand is a real qualified lead. So I threw out there, I said, hey, what if we could spend the rest of our time today brainstorming and figuring out how we can eliminate all of those so you can focus on at the end of the day, all you really care about is the qualified project lead. And from there, we flipped the business attraction model. We said, we're going to come up with a way that instead of spending 80% of your time searching for leads and 20% working qualified leads, we're going to flip it to 80% of you working qualified leads and 20% searching for leads. Is that a good goal? And basically, in 30 minutes, we decided, we came up with the plan. And 7 days later, after filing all my paperwork, the GSLI Elite Cities Network was formed. And the idea is each participant said, hey, we're going to eliminate just one ad, or we're going to eliminate one part of our marketing campaign. We're going to do some of these other things that still work, but we're going to give you a small chunk of money. I want you to put all of our money together cooperatively and go find leads. That's all we want you to do, Eric. Go find us leads, make sure they're vetted, make sure they're qualified, and let us determine if the project's good for us. And so you guys are very familiar with the site selection process. When we work with site selectors, they're typically deselecting communities. And we want the community, you, the community, to deselect the project and say, hey, it's not a good fit, or it is a good fit. And one of the things that I bring to the attention of our projects and our communities, lack of interest in your community is typically lack of education. They just don't know enough about your community to make an educated decision and put you on a short list. So that's what our coaches, that's what we do day in and day out, is educate them on opportunities they would not have thought of normally. And we've done one thing, and I will say we do it very well. We connect qualified, expanding or relocating companies with economic development professionals they can trust. And that's it. We back out of the process as quick as we can, so that our communities can work directly on increasing jobs in their community. How do we do this? The greatest part that I feel of the network is that we've been around for 30 years and we have not experienced a price increase in those 30 years. I know, Cresta, you want me to increase the price, but I'm not. And the more members we have, the larger that fund becomes for us to go out and do our job of finding leads, and increases benefits. So we increase benefits, not costs. So the poor people that started with us 30 years ago, they got a postcard email that we'd send to 5,000 companies per month, and they would fill out the little yes, we're expanding. We would vet those, put together a report, and send them out to the members. Because of our growth, we now do over 80,000 emails per month to 40,000 companies. We use AI technology to do a lot of that work to personalize it and track the behaviors of each and every company. We have added pillars. These are called lead generation pillars, that each one has a separate goal: referrals, telemarketing, internet research, banner ads, trade shows, magazine ads, industrial campaigns. We don't know where the next lead's going to come from. We just know that one of these methods is going to generate a lead. And if I was a community trying to put together a similar program, it would be totally cost prohibitive to hit prospects and projects with all of these different pillars. So we enjoy the fact that you get to piggyback and get leads from all of these different areas. We've also added entire educational series. We do jam sessions. Cresta attends every one of those with us. She does training on our portal. I do educational training, from AI to how to put together a cover letter to what's the
Grant
best
applications.
grant applications. We do a master series, which does a deeper dive. We hire professionals to come on and talk about building a social media network or things. And we keep a repository of all those on the website. So if you come in, you have access to that entire library to go back, give someone on your staff. You can listen to them. You can learn from them. The Prospect Lives, has anybody in here been on one of our Prospect Lives? If you have, throw a Y in there. Our Prospect Lives, we actually bring the project on a Zoom call like this, and I interview them. I talk to them. They talk about what their tipping points, and our clients or our communities get to ask them questions. Hey, would you consider our area? We have a building that's perfect. We have a workforce ready to go to work for you. And so the Prospect Lives are a great educational opportunity to learn what the projects are looking for, but also to better put together a response for that project and make a difference for them. Those benefits don't stop. How many of you guys love putting together RFIs? And how long? Someone put in the chat how long it takes them to complete an RFI. And Carol, one of our coaches, she mentioned this is the favorite part of our portal that people participate in. Between 30, 30. Mark is quick. Christina, that's still pretty quick. But yeah, up to a day. Good range. We have gotten that process down and perfected through what we're going to show you here in a minute, our portal, down to a 15-minute process through sticky fields. We would rather you focus on your cover letter, because if you can't get someone's attention through a cover letter, they're never going to dive in to read the rest of your stats and your information. So we put a huge focus and teach our clients how to use AI technology to compare the project in their communities to put together cover letters. And those cover letters, how fast can they be generated, Caressa?
Oh, wow. Seconds.
Yeah, when you use the right prompt, it'll go out and research and put together the best. I've told my staff I'm fired. If you got a question, go use our AI technology and it'll give you the answer. So that's a lot of fun. It doesn't stop. We do trade shows, almost too many trade shows. And you as communities can attend these. We have a lot of communities that have been doing trade shows, and average cost is, I say 10,000, but it's more like 12 per trade show. They are a great place to be, shake hands, learn from the industry. But the actual booth, the reason I do it, it's our worst lead generator, but it's our best cost savings for our communities. They can attend with us, they can send materials with us. And some of our clients even sponsor the show so they can have their own banner at the show and get spotlighted at the show. So our trade shows are our thing that we've been doing for 30 years. So we got a lot of relationships there, but it's a way for you to participate and engage in shows without having the cost. We also have huge amounts of press coverage. We have a website that we also own called Global Trade Magazine. We put press releases out on that. I do GT podcasts with communities. I just talk and engage and let them tell their story. We publish those, and we have a news wire on our portal that you send us how many ever press releases you want. We get it out there. It gives you more exposure. And the most exciting thing that we've come up with, it's kind of a pay it forward type program that we talked with members about, and we've set aside $100,000 of a grant fund that people, I'm going to say it's for assistance for communities with less fortunate budgets. I'm going to say that's the politically correct way to put it, but they're struggled and they're challenged. They might be in a rural area, and that's who we really like to help. So offering them assistance to the grant is something I'm really excited about. So the biggest thing that's taken 30 years, and our portal probably took over 2 years of development, and we always grow. Our members give us good feedback. They earn cups of coffee at Starbucks if they give us great ideas. but it is a living, breathing um, portal um, for the members to communicate. Everything happens there, and I put together this quick video to really kind of show you how leads get into the portal. So let me play that with you. Welcome. I'm Eric Kleinsorge, Chairman of Global Site Location Industries, and welcome to GSLI's Project Portal. So first things first, you might ask, where do the portal projects come from? It's actually quite simple. The project portal currently has 6 project pillars: internet research, magazine surveys, 5 industry campaigns, telemarketing, trade shows, and our ambassador program. Each pillar has a goal for projects identified: 24, 12, 24, 24, 36, and 50. All projects must meet minimum criteria to qualify for the project portal. Each project must need at least 10 new employees, must need at least 10,000 square foot of space, must be considering locations 50 miles from their current location, and must make their decision in less than 18 months. All projects are then passed through the qualification process, and all critical data is then put into the project portal. Finally, the projects are delivered to you for review and follow-up, thus saving you time, money, and most importantly, resources. Start working projects today. GSLI's Project Portal. So that should give you kind of an overview of how the portal works. Now I'm going to turn it over to the star of the show, and you have to be quick. So, Cresta, why don't you take us live and share just kind of the top end benefits and how someone navigates the portal?
Exactly. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay, so Eric gave me 3 minutes, and unlike him, I'm actually going to try and keep this to 3 minutes. So just know if you do join on and become a member, you will get a much more thorough understanding and explanation of how all of these things work. Okay. So let's see, here we go. Trade shows. Underneath this GSLI Elite Cities tab, you'll see our trade show tour. Eric did touch on this. You do get to attend trade shows with us, or if you want to have a bigger spotlight, maximum exposure, you can do sponsorship. You can see all of our upcoming trade shows here. We do have one more coming, or 2 more coming, that we're still working out the details on. Past shows, you can touch this tab and it'll show you our past shows. We do have some frequently asked questions up here for you if you're interested in maybe sponsoring or any marketing needs. And then we do offer the sponsorship information right here for you. Just if you're interested in possibly going to a show, we do have bundle rates available if you're interested in more than one show. All right,
Cresta,
jam
Cresta,
session.
Cresta, real
Yes,
quick on trade shows, and I'm not going to slow you down.
you are slowing me down
Really,
right now.
really, really important on the trade shows. There's a little button there. If we identified 600 leads or a trade show report, you have access to that. So you can download all of those leads and create your own marketing platforms. It's usually the little paper button on the right is the reports, and the people button are the leads. And those can range anywhere from 50 leads to one show we had 700 contacts that we generated.
Hey,
That is also free.
I'm resetting the clock at 3 minutes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, here we go. So jam sessions, as Eric mentioned, we do jam sessions. They are the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. And with those, we're going to cover portal updates, trade show recaps, any educational info, and we will always discuss a current lead. Now, to see the jam sessions, you have to be logged into a member account. So if you were to come in here, you wouldn't even see a tab for jam sessions. But once you are a member, you have access to all of these jam sessions. And we will try to be as simple and as upfront as possible. So episode 30 that we just did was about upcoming trade shows and sponsorship, AI for retail targets, and project building bellows. So then you can just click this link here, and it's actually going to take you right to that video so that you can watch it. Really simple. Prospect Lives. Now, Eric did mention Prospect Lives, and this one's going to be,
Those are
oh,
GSLI solutions. Yeah.
right. So on our actual website, which is called gslisolutions.com, we do have a media tab here. And under it, this link right here, Prospect Live Webinars, is going to take you to all of the prospects lives that we've done with actual prospects. And so this is a really good place, even if, you know, they've already passed and those are older, to kind of get an idea of exactly what companies looking to expand or relocate are looking for, right? And just see how that goes. But if you do get to be on a Prospect Live, please, please, please join us. It's an amazing, amazing opportunity. All right, so we're going to click back over here to the portal, and browse projects is my next topic. So this is where we find projects that are going to be a good fit for us. And the main way that we're going to do that is by this little filters tab here. So you can filter by anything you can think of. If you have a specific building you're trying to fill, filter by the size of the building. If you have industries that you're specifically trying to bring on, you can filter by those industries, right? Say those are my industries. And that's going to bring your list down to something that's workable for you versus having a big, huge list, because we do keep all active projects in the portal as well as landed projects. You can just simply click, I'm only interested in active projects. I need something that's going to create under 100 jobs. And from there, you can come up with a list that's worth, you know, taking the time to really look through and dive into.
Crest, if you could hit landed projects just to show them the status, how it differs. When we announce a project that's landed, we give it a little trophy because we're really proud of it. We put the press release and where they located to, and you can kind of go in and read the information about where it landed. So our goal, I would say, our goal is to have 50% of our project leads convert by year's end. Usually it's 30 to 40, and that rolls over every year.
All right, back to my time clock. Internal projects. So one of our clients actually wanted to use this as a CRM to put all their projects in. And so they said, "Hey, is there a way that you can allow me to put all of my projects in so I can use this as my project CRM?" We said, "Absolutely, we'll make it happen." So if you click on internal projects, you're actually going to go and put in all of the project details just as we would if we were entering a project into the back end, except for the only difference is it's going to show up on your browse projects page and nobody else's. And this allows you to use some of the great features and benefits that we have in the portal on your own projects as well. Submitting. Okay. Submitting is really simple. We use a basic RFI, as Eric mentioned before. That first time you fill it out, it may take a little bit more time. But as you fill out multiple, you'll see that a lot of the information are sticky fields. So your first one is the hard one. You got to get all that information in with taxation and logistics and schools and all of the things. But once you've completed that one and you go to submit on your next project, all of that information is still going to be there, which makes it a breeze. You're just updating anything that needs to be changed and adding in that amazing cover letter that's specific to the project, and you're good to go on submitting. Okay, asking questions. Asking questions is simple. There's two different ways to ask questions for two different places. We are inside of a project report right now. And as you can see here, there's this orange box that says have questions about mocktails, which is the name of the project. So if you have a project question, you're simply going to click the button in here and you're going to type your question in. That is going to go directly to our project director, Ashley, and she is going to get back with you in 24 to 48 hours with information about your project. She will answer it here. If it's a public question, it'll be here. And if it's a private question that's more specific to your community, it'll be under my questions. But either way, that will get answered there. If you have an issue with the portal, there is a Get Help button up here at the top. You can simply pick a category that fits what's going on, and then give me as much information as you can. And this is going to go directly to myself and our developer. And that way we can get started on the issue. Again, 24 to 48 hours, and we hope to have everything solved for you, or at least have a timeline on which we expect that to be fixed for you. We don't get anybody using that one too often. All right, on to the next thing, community profile. You have a community profile that you can build once you become a member. And it's really simple. It's just going to ask you a lot of questions. You can go through each one of these and click on them and add in the information. Or you can click this help button down here and you can see everything that's needed and actually add it directly from here. The reason that is so important is because over here on our website, if you're an expanding company, we're going to go ahead and send you over here to this tab about expanding companies. And all of our community profiles are going to load right here on a map. You're also going to be able to go to the directory and click directly into those and see the profile that you have built, as well as compare certain features. So if you want to compare population, taxation, et cetera, between a few different communities that you're on the fence about, you can do that here as well. So really great opportunity to just put maximum exposure and get you over here on the website as well. Okay, back over here. Next on my list is the ROI button. Now, this one is actually a work in progress, but you can find it on this dashboard here. And we are making some changes based on a previous jam session that we had and what our clients want to see. But what it will eventually do is it will ultimately let you decide on what you think a qualified lead is worth, whether it be national, statewide, or region. And then based on the projects that you have put in your pipeline and your submissions, it will provide an ROI based on what you paid for the product that will show you exactly what your return on investment is. So you'll be able to adjust these fields here to what you think that should be, and then it will give you, boom, a return on your investment. So that's coming soon.
And the good thing about that is that's something you can print and take to your board when they're coming and saying, "Hey, you invested this kind of money. What'd you get?" You can't do that with anything else. That's the whole purpose. A member brought that to us, and we're making some fine tunes, but we're really excited about that feature.
You can also take notes and print those, print your project report and print your submission. So you're creating an entire packet that you're going to give to your board. This is the ROI. These are all the projects I was able to submit on, our notes, what we did with them, etc. Um, but last thing here is going to be this My Day calendar hiding down in the bottom corner right here. It allows you to add notes and put a calendar reminder on it, but you can also access that via the side menu here and going to the dashboard again. Dashboard has pretty much duplicates of everything that you need. This My Day calendar, and it is actually just going to have reminders for you. So if you made a note reminder for a project that you needed to get some more information for, it will show up here. RFI deadlines show up here in red. You can actually click right here and it will try to take you directly into the jam session. So if you're ever didn't get a jam session link or can't find it in your mailbox, you can always just come here and click right into them at the time. And then it will also show trade show events. So when we're going to be going to a trade show, next one is going to be Retail Supply Chain and Logistics Expo coming right around the corner in May. And that's everything I've got. I would have been 3 minutes if you hadn't slowed me down, Eric. I think I would have made it.
Perfect. We have Mark. Thank you for attending. We would love to get in touch with you. If you guys want, just in a minute, you'll have the opportunity. We can take a deeper dive and get you involved and ask questions and see exactly how this would work for you. I'm going to take back over. All right. I'm wrapping up right now. We are 6 minutes over, so I apologize. I've done a really good job. Usually I'm way more. These are some testimonials. We won't read them, but Rick's probably one of our most faithful. He's on every jam session. He is great. He went to London with us last year to a trade show.
So
He
awesome.
really good guy. Yeah, we've got Michael Looney. He was going to attend today. I was going to bring him on live to let him talk about his experience with us. I know he probably got sidetracked. They got a major announcement of a project that they're working on. Teresa, we've got tons and tons. Larry just retired, but I still love his testimonial. He's in a beautiful country. I did uh,
Retiring next month, actually.
yeah, I
Yeah,
did a
just
tour with
announced.
them and learned everything I could about their area. And we also get testimonials from the companies that we help locate. And that's important because we want them to come back again and again. So we have tons of testimonials. You can find them on the site if you want to hear what people are saying. And I really wanted to emphasize before we end here, we offer exclusivity. We shoot for a max of 5 elite members per state. So take how many cities in your state. We only want to work with 5 at the most. And that's to make sure that your at bats, I call them, count. You're not mixed in with 100 different communities competing with them. We want yours to stand out. We don't want communities competing with each other. So if you're a member of that 5, um, you help build that team. And we try to build the best 5 in the state. Real simple. This is our cost model or our investment model. We take either 49.50 from somebody that's going to kind of dip their toes in and try the alliance and see how it works, or 8,500 if they do a full year. And we put every bit of those dollars together into that cooperative marketing fund to go out and generate leads. So that's why the more members we have, the larger the benefits and the more we can do. I promised a special offer. Caressa, go ahead and put up the poll. There's one way to lock this in, and you are not obligated to join. I just am trying to make it easy for somebody to set up a meeting with us, but it's $500 off. And the most important part is we will unlock the project portal for 6 months back. And that means that you get 18 months worth of projects. So from day one, you'll be allowed to go back and show your board from day one, you're already working projects. So I'll leave that up for a little bit. If you think we're a good fit, you can take out your phone, you can take a picture of this QR code, or you can go to our website and schedule a 15-minute call with us. We are more than excited to get on and share with you anything or any questions, maybe even go in and see if how many project leads are a good match for you guys before you came on board. We really I'm going to say you can drop off at this point if you've dedicated only 30 minutes. If you have questions, I'll stay on here to answer your questions. But I'm going to go. I'll give it a few minutes, see if there's any questions. Usually we're pretty good. Are the projects you source also going directly to other agencies such as state economic? So on our platform, our members have the first at bats as promised. Our goal is to assist the company. So let's say a project's looking at Texas. Our members put in their submissions. That's why we have a submission deadline. That doesn't mean that's the last submission that company will meet, but as the company feeds us back information, says, hey, none of these qualify because we are so specific on this expansion of this area, then we will go outside and contact a community and for the company because we want them to come back for multiple projects. But the most important thing is we put our members first. We give them the first opportunity. We educate them why they should be on the short list and just increase the number of chances. It's not like we're sending 100 proposals to them from Texas and you're just kind of lost in the mix. And I'm not saying every state does that, but a lot of state agencies, they'll put a call out for RFIs and just send them in bulk to the projects. We try to offer kind of an exclusive service on that. Did that answer your question? If I do not have any other questions. You guys are amazing. I love uh, being able to provide information. I'd love, we'll probably send you guys all an invite to come to one of our jam sessions too, just to see how those work. But with that said, if there's no other questions, I want to thank you for your time. I hope we can communicate in the future and stay connected. And go have a great week. You guys are making a difference and continue to do so. With that said, I'm Eric Kleinsword signing off.
Hi,
Thanks, guys.
everybody.